In this video, I'm going to take you through my 3 key takeaways from the CIMA Strategic Case Study Examination pre-C materials for the May to August 2025 sitting for the company Leothayre. My name is James, and if you'd like access to my exclusive CIMA notes, just like the students who have helped above pass their case study exam, click the link in the description of this video and you can follow it through with me. I'm also delighted to say I'm affiliated and associated with Astranti. They offer pre-scene analysis packs, mock examinations, and again, click the links down in the description below to access those materials to get you the pass. And for pure transparency, as always, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the channel. And as always, a massive thank you. I'm so pleased the videos help. Leave me a comment below how you're getting on with your revision, because for your notes, our key first takeaway is all about Leothayre on there and the satellite industry itself. Now, where do you need to go in terms of the pre-scene notes? Well, first of all, page 12 on there, as this is where you need to be aware of, and I think lots of students made the mistake when it came to the first sitting in May, about actually what Leothayre actually does. So on the left-hand side, you can see it's an established quoted company on there, but it provides the complete satellite service, and that is where it takes the clients from start to finish on there with the initial consultation and for all the way up to the launch and the operations and any sort of consultation on there as well. The next key thing are those figures in the top left-hand corner that they make and specialise in small satellites from 1 kg to 75 kg. That is absolutely critical, because I think these details are going to be some of the areas, if you come up to page 4 now, where that fits in. So remember the 1 to 75? Look on the left hand side, you'll see in my notes, Leothayre operates in the small classification in those top 2 areas in terms of nano and micro. And that is absolutely key in terms of working out the sizes and also being aware of what is known as the actual pocket cubes on there. Now, why are these pocket cubes actually important in terms of what's going on here? Well, you can see just as I sort of scroll down a touch more, I think an area where students have made a bit of a mix-up is you can see the square, or should I say the cubes on the left hand side there, and this is where we have smaller pocket cube satellites, which you've got the traditional small, medium, large. So you can see the picture on the right hand side that most students would think of what is an actual satellite, but then you can see you've got the actual pico, femto, and these smaller satellites, little cubes on there, that can also go up when they get rocketed up into space and to go with the other satellites. So again, another opportunity in terms of Leothayre on there for more potential revenue streams. Now, coming on to actually what Leothayre actually does and where students are going to make mistakes, this is all about, next of all for your notes, are the satellite missions themselves. Key thing for your notes on here is actually the Earth's orbit. I've put it there on number 3. I'll put my mouse on it on there. That is all about satellites in low Earth orbit. That is Leothayre's area. That's where they actually create these satellites and they're going to be used. And then you've got on there research and development, communication. We've also got, if we come down, orbits on here. And the key thing to be aware of is that, and it's the main thing that students I don't think got their head wrapped around, is the further the satellites are away from Earth, so this is in terms of the geosynchronous orbits satellites, and I am no expert on this, I'm just trying to interpret it. So you can see those dotted lines going round the Earth on there. What you need to do is then come back up to the diagram that you have on page 3. So you can see on my notes, Leo is the one on here where they are very close to the Earth, whereas you've got the medium and the geosynchronous ones that are further away from Earth. They are larger satellites, they need more power, costing, risks associated with it, but that is another area where students are going to get them mixed up at actually what Leothayre actually does and how they support their customers. Lastly, we have to look at the ground stations and launching satellites on pages 9 to... So we've got 9 for the ground stations and 10 to 11 for the launching satellites. So if we come on to the ones on here on the right hand side, key bit for your notes actually in terms of what they organise. So Leothayre organises those ground stations, all the complexities associated with it. But then we could have on here other areas about ground stations that we have in terms of vehicles or handheld devices, other opportunities and business environments that Leothayre could be involved in. But that first key takeaway is getting your head around actually what Leothayre does, what they actually produce, and how they add value to their customers on there. So that is area number 1, the satellite industry itself and Leothayre, which again, if you want to have more details on that, head down to page 12. We've got more things on the notes on there with my extras on the side. Now, area number 2 of our key takeaways is all about the financials and definitely the share price. If you come down to page 21 now, we have the share price has been decreasing. Leothayre is a listed organisation that we're told. I think some students are going to get that mixed up with it, thinking it's a limited company. But the key bits for your notes is that the share price has changed over the 5-year period we're given from about $20 a share down to $4. Now you've got to be thinking, well, hang on a second, if I was in that position and we've got the beta of Leothayre being slightly riskier than the market, who is actually in charge of that? Who has been accountable for it? And what you need to do there is go up to page 15. That is where you have the board on the right hand side, in particular the CEO Robert on there, and Gamze the CFO in charge of the financial reporting and the management accounting could be linked in there, but mainly I would say Robert is the main accountable person along with the rest of the board of directors on there. And you can see on my notes when they've been appointed, and all of them since they've been appointed, the share price has dropped. Now, in terms of other areas for the financials, if you go down to page 17, you're given Leothayre's actual income statement on there, or should I say profit and loss. Positive news, revenues increasing, profits increasing. You might actually want to do some of the ratio calculations on there. And the other key thing in terms of the financials, if we come down to pages 19 to 20, and this is definitely going to help out someone who's maybe got the exam and not looked through this very quickly, is the direct competitor on the right hand side, or Balenik on there, or however you want to pronounce it. This is the only time this competitor, direct competitor, is mentioned. So that is absolutely critical that you understand the differences on there. About both of them have had increases in revenue and profits, but for anyone who's got my notes that you've downloaded them, look at the level of borrowings on there. So Leothayre has increased theirs by 1,000 million, whereas if you go down to Balenik on there, it's gone up by 300 million. So just to be aware of key points that I'd be referring to on the exam day. Now you've got to look at, from a financial point of view, well, this is all fantastic, they're operating quite well, but the share price is going down. They should be looking at new potential revenue streams. And that is where on the right-hand side, page 25, you've got on there some stakeholders are willing to pay a premium because they actually don't get the quality of localized weather that they need in terms of their forecasting. That's to do with oil rigs, farmers and builders. So definitely something I'd get down in your notes from a revenue opportunity point of view. But of course, with strengths and positives, there are also negatives that we need to be aware of. And if you go up to page 12, following my notes, look on the left-hand side, bottom paragraph down there, you can see it's great that they've got lots of clients around the world, successfully launched 64 satellites. However, because they're through different countries, there is a possible exchange rate risk that we haven't been told much about. But from a financial point of view, we're talking about this company operating in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Any exchange rate swings could be a major impact on the business. And because it takes a typical mission 12 to 18 months from the initial consultation to launch and actually invoicing and receiving the cash, there could be a cash flow problem here in terms of the business. So it's just to be aware of that. We're told on here that they have unfulfilled and excess demands. That could be an area why the share price has been dropping, not fulfilling what customers want. However, to go against that slightly, if you look at Leothayre's actual bank account on the statement of financial position, it has an increasingly positive cash flow. We could get given more details of that on the exam day. But that is key takeaway number 2, the financials and the share price. Now, last but by no means least, key takeaway number 3 is all about the environmental impact of the satellites. And the first place you need to go to is page 26 now, and this is the Space Junk Charter. Now, because in space no one has authority over it, and you've got lots of satellites that are getting rocketed into space, and they break off, and that's where you have the harms to the environment, that the debris comes down to Earth, and this is where they're putting forward this Space Junk Charter, that it is encouraged, key thing for your notes here, it's encouraged for the best efforts on there, but it is not enforceable by law or have any power to enforce. So it's about the best practices of the organisations to be responsible, but it is not legal. Now, to go with that, if you come up to page 15 now, and you think to yourself, well, if we've got a company that's turning over millions of dollars, surely someone's going to be in charge of what is going on now. And again, you've got the board of directors on the side there, the different committees. Nobody has been allocated sustainability or the environment, so something I would definitely have in my arsenal on the exam day to note as a really good point to apply the pre-C materials. To add to that as well, if you come down to page 16 from an environmental point of view, in terms of the risk areas are actually highlighted on here about regulatory framework on there. It's still a young business, developing industry. There are lots of areas within the risk that could be linked back to the environmental factors and the general sort of strategic outlook of the business, that they need to be taking into account these different factors, or the share price is going to go down even further, which links into those different areas on there. Now, where does this link into as well from the environment as to, well, who is actually shaping how the business is operating itself? And this is where we're given on page 13 now, the vision, the values, and also the mission. And we're told in terms of the values, you should directly quote these in your answer on the exam day, that Leothayre chooses excellence in all decisions. So if you see anything, in particular something about the environment, sustainability, and it is not deemed to be of an excellent standard, refer back to the values, quote the pre-C materials, and the examiner who's marking your work is going to love you for it. In terms of the actual vision, so Leothayre's vision is to provide a space-based facilities that can enhance the quality of life on Earth. So again, linking back to that board of director role as to, we're not really told who's in charge of that, and there are a variety of other sort of factors and links to the mission that you could refer back to. Now, you want some examples from a sustainability and environmental factor to say, well, it's all well saying it's bad for the environment, James, it's bad for sustainability. Where are we actually told about this? Well, if you go up to page 3, and this is where you can quote it yourself, what we have here, friction from the atmosphere causes them to overheat to the point where they disintegrate and the fragments fall to the earth. So this is a direct quote that you could take from the pre-C materials. Fragments falling to the earth, they end up going into the sea, they end up going into land on there. All these different environmental factors, are they really best practice? And granted, on page 2, as you can see on the side there, you're given that you're a senior manager in the finance function, but sustainability, environmental factors, you've got the International Sustainability Standards Board becoming more and more topical, that qualified accountants need to be aware of and applying in their roles. That is why it is my key takeaway number 3, and you should be considering it in your revision and for it to maybe come up on the exam day. Well, that takes you through my 3 key takeaways. Be sure to subscribe and like so you get access to all of my other SCS case study examination videos. If you'd like a copy of these exclusive notes, click the link down below and also get yourself a copy of an Astranti mock paper. It is definitely going to help you prepare for your exam day. And I'll see you on the other side now for another video. So thank you very much.